My beloved son, my precious daughter, I want you to feel how important you are at this moment. The words I am about to tell you are filled with love, security, and strength. I feel your heavy heart, the battles you have faced, the pain that insists on staying. Today, I invite you to release this burden, to find refuge in faith, because a new journey of hope and comfort begins now. Stay with me until the end of this message, as what will be said can transform your life and dispel the shadows that surround you. Now take a deep breath and let this truth settle in. You are not alone. Every tear you've shed, every battle you've fought, holds a purpose far greater than you may realize. I've walked with you through it all, and I want to remind you that there is an unwavering love covering you, a love that will never fail to support and guide you. This love carries the promise of something new, something extraordinary that is about to unfold in your life. Allow yourself to believe in this, to trust in what's coming, and stay with me until the end. The answer you've been longing for is closer than you think. If these words have touched your heart, share what you're feeling in the comments. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe to continue receiving messages of hope and renewal. Stay with me, because what's coming next might be the very revelation you've been waiting for. Imagine the warmest embrace you have ever felt. Now, multiply that by all the times your heart cried out for help. That is how God embraces you at this very moment. There is no distance between you and the healing you long for. Even on nights when silence seems deafening, there's a gentle voice saying, "You will overcome." Jesus whispers to your heart, bringing a message of peace that resonates in the depths of your soul. Sometimes the days seem too long, and the weight of the world clings to your chest. But understand, there is a light beyond this path. Jesus did not come to free you from all difficulties, but he promised to guide you through them. He is by your side now, holding your hand. Do you feel it? Each step, even if faltering, brings you closer to the freedom your spirit longs for. Do not blame yourself for feeling tired. You are human, and God understands you more than you can imagine. Let this truth touch your heart. You are unconditionally loved. Even when you feel distant, there are always open arms waiting for you. No matter what has happened or what is to come, God is with you. He has not forgotten your prayers. What you have faced is not in vain. The answers may take time, but his presence is constant. He embraces you now amid doubts and says there is a perfect plan in motion. So why worry so much? There are things beyond your reach to solve. Remember to surrender what you cannot carry alone. God invites you to rest, to find peace amid chaos. When you release your fears and let him take care, the burden will lessen. And when you least expect it, what seemed impossible will begin to resolve. Keep breathing, keep believing. God's love is what sustains you. You do not need all the answers now. You just need to trust that one step at a time, the road will open before you. Trust in every promise he made to you and never forget, you are not alone on this journey. There are moments when the pain seems unbearable, as if your heart cannot bear another drop of suffering. But I want you to know that even in your most difficult moments, God has never left you. He is with you, even when everything seems lost. In days of anguish, when tears become your only companions, remember that there is a greater peace waiting to flood your soul. God sees every sigh, every thought, and he calls you to rest. What you face today may seem insurmountable, but the truth is that God has already prepared the way for your liberation. It may not be evident now, perhaps the answers are still hidden, but be assured that the solution is on its way. Trust in this process. It is not easy, I know. Waiting can hurt, but it is precisely in it that your faith is being shaped. You know those promises God made to your heart? They have not been forgotten. It may seem that time has passed and nothing has changed, but God's plans are perfect, and every detail of your life is under His control. The doors that closed were not for you, and those that are about to open will bring blessings beyond what you imagined. It is hard to see this now, but one day you will look back and understand that every tear was transformed into strength. At this very moment, God is moving things in your favor, even if your eyes cannot yet see. The key to getting through this period is trust. Trust that you are loved, that nothing escapes God's attentive gaze, and that He always wants the best for you. So, as you walk through this valley, remember that there is a greater purpose in all of this. And when you feel you cannot go on, remember, God's grace is sufficient. It fills you, gives you strength, and lifts you. No matter how difficult the circumstances, they are never greater than God's power in your life. Trust in this truth and continue walking with faith. Now think of the storms you have faced. Remember how, even in the midst of the greatest one, at some point, calm arrived. That same peace that followed the storm is prepared to touch your heart at this moment. You are not alone, and your pain is not ignored. Every worry, every fear that consumes your thoughts, everything is seen and cared for by God. When the clouds seem too dark and the path uncertain, Jesus is showing you the direction, even if it is one step at a time. Sometimes the burden you carry seems too heavy to bear alone, but what you need to understand is that it was never meant for you to carry all this without help. God offers you rest. He wants you to surrender your pains and allow Him to take care of what you cannot resolve. It is not weakness to ask for help. On the contrary, it is in your weakness that His strength is revealed. Your heart may sometimes feel like a broken vessel, shattered by life's struggles. But know that each of these cracks is filled with God's love. He does not leave you in pieces. He restores you piece by piece, day by day, and the result will be stronger and more beautiful than before. Do not rush to try to fix everything alone. God is working in you, in His time, and what He does is always perfect. Trust the process even when it does not make sense. God is in control even when everything seems out of place. He is present in the details, in the things you have not yet noticed. Perhaps the solution will not come immediately, but rest assured, it will come. And when it comes, you will see that there was no reason to despair. God had already prepared everything for you to come out stronger. Feel the weight lifting from your heart now. This is God's touch. He is here, by your side, guiding you along this path, promising not to leave you until you find peace. And this peace, my dear, is closer than you imagine. Keep walking. Keep believing. Life often seems like a path full of stones and obstacles, and you may wonder why things have to be so difficult. But today, I want to remind you that God is by your side, even on the darkest days. He never promised you would not face challenges, but He guaranteed you would never face them alone. There is a purpose, even in moments of pain, and God is transforming each one into something greater and better. Maybe you are feeling tired, without strength to continue, and it is precisely in these moments that God carries you in His arms. He knows your limits, knows when you are on the brink of giving up, but He also knows that you are capable of enduring more than you imagine. And when your strength fails, He steps in. Feel it now. There is a greater power sustaining you. You may not understand why so many battles, but each one is shaping you for something great. God would never let you go through something that would not bring you growth. And as you walk through this valley of uncertainties, know that He has already prepared the ground on the other side. Your victory is guaranteed, but before that, there are lessons that need to be learned. There are strengths that need to be developed. Now look around. Even amid pain, there are blessings you may not have noticed. God is working silently in your life, moving the pieces on the board so that everything fits at the right time. Trust in this plan, even if it seems confusing now. He knows what he is doing, and when the time comes, everything will make sense. Allow your heart to rest in this truth. The peace you seek is already within your reach. Do not worry about tomorrow, for God is already there, preparing the way for you. He is with you today, tomorrow, and always. There are moments in life when the weight of the world seems to concentrate on your shoulders, and it is easy to feel alone. But let me tell you an eternal truth. You are never alone. From the moment you opened your eyes to the world, God has been present, guiding your steps, even when you could not see. He formed you with love, and that love continues to sustain you in every moment of your life. Sometimes, the silence seems unbearable, and you may wonder why God does not answer. But God's silence is not absence. It is in the silence that He works, preparing the ground, shaping your heart, teaching lessons that only waiting can bring. Do not fear this silence. It is not empty, but full of purpose. Jesus is by your side, whispering words of consolation and encouragement. He knows the journey has not been easy, but He also knows there is a light at the end of the tunnel. That light is the promise that everything will get better, that the pain is not permanent, and that the joy that awaits you will be much greater than any sadness you are facing now. Today, I want you to rest in this promise. There is no weight that God cannot carry. There is no darkness that He cannot illuminate. Your faith, no matter how small, is enough to move mountains. And even when that faith seems to waver, God sustains you. He is faithful, He is constant, and He loves you more than you can imagine. Let these words touch your heart and bring you comfort. What you are living now is not the end. It is just a part of the journey. Keep walking, keep believing. God is by your side, and His promise of love and peace is unbreakable. There are moments when all you need is a little peace, a sigh of relief in the midst of the storm. Today, Jesus is telling you that this peace is available to you. Even amid difficulties, there is a safe refuge where your heart can rest. God doesn't ignore your pain. He sees every tear and hears every silent prayer. And the answer is coming, not as you might have expected, but in the perfect way, at the perfect time. Maybe you are tired of waiting, wondering if your prayers have been forgotten. I want to assure you that no prayer goes unnoticed. God is always working behind the scenes, taking care of details you cannot even imagine. He is preparing the best for you, even if everything seems uncertain at the moment. Remember, God's timing is perfect, and He is never late. You may feel that your strength is waning, that each step seems more difficult than the last. But it is precisely in these moments of weakness that God reveals Himself with more strength. He sustains you when your strength fails. And every day, every battle you face, He is by your side, never leaving you alone. This is a promise. You may not see the end of the road yet, but God already sees it, and He guides you with a certainty only He can give. Allow your heart to open to this truth. No matter how turbulent the storm, there is a place of rest in God. He offers you a rest the world cannot give, a peace that surpasses all understanding. Even if your problems are still before you, this peace is the certainty that you are not alone, and that everything, in the end, will be all right. God is in control of every detail of your life. And when doubt comes, when fear tries to shake you, remember these words. You are loved. You are strong. You are capable of overcoming what lies ahead, because God is with you every step of the way. Do not give up. There is a new dawn waiting for you, and what seems heavy today will be light tomorrow. Have you ever felt like you were lost, not knowing which way to go? This feeling of uncertainty can be overwhelming, but today, Jesus tells you there is no reason to fear. He is your guide. He is the light that illuminates the path, even on the darkest days. Perhaps the path you are on now seems full of curves, but there is one certainty. God is by your side at every turn, in every challenge, showing you the next step. Sometimes life takes us down paths we did not expect, and it can be frightening not knowing what comes next. But God already knows your future. He knows where you have been and where you are going. And He is preparing a path of victory, even if for now you only see the obstacles. He is telling you to trust. Trust that even when everything seems uncertain, He is in control. If you are facing challenges now, know that they do not define who you are. God sees you beyond the difficulties. He knows your heart and is shaping you for something greater. Each struggle is an opportunity for growth, and He is equipping you with everything you need to win. How did this message impact you? Share in the comments. I would love to know your opinion. If you felt the presence of God strengthening your heart, share this word with someone who also needs to hear it. And don't forget to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and turn on notifications to continue receiving messages of faith and encouragement. God is with you, always guiding you.